Dwan B. Black History Commercial, take
1. And here comes the 2 to the 3 and 4.
Hold up. Celebrate our warriors and scholars. Black history on a t-shirt. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Yeah. Mothers of the movement, our scholars. Instead of wearing a sports jersey with someone else's name on your back, celebrate our leader's name on your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Get yours now at hotepish.com/shop. Free shipping on all orders over $75. Also, get your Black American Music Family Tree at incenseandashtrays.com/shop. 400 years of music created here in North America exclusively by Black Americans on one piece of artwork.
Go ahead.
What up, y'all? Welcome to Hotepish, Intelligent-ish Talk, Intelligent Shit Talk, where we bring you the profound and the profane. You dig what I'm saying? We bring you the good news and the bad news. We just talk a lot of shit while we do it and have fun. So, welcome to everybody on YouTube, to everybody on Caffeine, especially because if you're on YouTube, I'm going to need you to download that Caffeine app real soon and watch the rest of the show over on the Caffeine app. But in the meantime, we here over on YouTube also. And yeah, so we're going to be here talking about it. Salute to everybody that was watching the Craig Facts Morning Show, everybody that was watching 106 at Crenshaw with DJ Show. And then we're going to have, after this show, another Craig Facts. I'm going to be on it, and I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but it's going to be something silly. Well, we here today. It was just, we was going to go through some news and just see what's going on in the world today. Netflix, earlier this morning, dropped the LGBTQ tag on the Jeffrey Dahmer series amidst backlash. So I don't know what it is. Dahmer, he basically got men and slept with men and ate male dicks. But I guess, I guess certain communities have the power to remove their tags off of negative imagery. It would be so dope if we as Black Americans got that same power. You dig? But I'm not mad, because look, if you got the power to exercise this shit, go ahead and do it. But for those of you who are watching earlier on Craig Facts, they were talking about the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and me personally, I ain't watching it. I remember that when it happened. I think I was like 12 when all that was going on, and they was like, yeah, this dude done been killing all these people, and he's freezing their body. I am cool on watching a TV show to remind me of some sick shit that happened when I was a kid. Like, why do you always do that? They always got remembrances of sick ass stories. Like they had that a few years ago, the whole David Koresh thing for him in Waco, Texas. The early 90s was wild. A lot of you Caffeine watchers, y'all was born in the early 90s and the late 90s, so y'all missed it. Man, the 90s had all kind of cracking. You had the Jeffrey Dahmer thing going on. You had the Zodiac Killer, some dude that was going around killing folks and putting they astrological sign on their ass or some shit like that. You had the Unabomber. The Unabomber was this dude that was going around bombing people, and all they knew about him was he wore some aviator sunglasses, he wore a hood, and it was a sketch, and he had a jerry curl. Yeah, that's all we knew. It was some dude, some big ass Lionel Richie glasses, a hoodie, and a jerry curl going around bombing motherfuckers. You had the Ruby Ridge incident where they was fighting the government about some damn land. You had the Waco incident where they was fighting the government about some damn land. And you had Jeffrey Dahmer. It was a lot of sick shit going on in the early 90s. That's why your parents had you around that goddamn time. It wasn't no internet. It was like, so either you was gonna turn on the news and get bad news or fuck. And that's why half you Caffeine listeners was born like in 93, 94. It was earthquakes, Jeffrey Dahmer ass motherfuckers and sick shit like that. And all of it ended in 1996 when you had the what's that Timothy McVeigh in the Waco, Texas or whatever. When that happened, that's when it all sort of culminated, around that time. And by the way, while we talking, let me go ahead and mute this. You can get the Hotepish shirts at hotepish.com. Oh, I'm in the chat room now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, what's up to everybody up in the chat room? We here. So, yeah, those of you, so you say you was born in 85? Yeah, those of you who was around back in the 80s, that was in the early 90s, knew how cracking that time was, and these times are every bit as cracking, We had, this past weekend, for those of you who don't know, we had reparations pull-ups all across the country. Dallas, Austin, LA, Sacramento, Oakland, Virginia, all over. And what this was about was Black Americans stepping up and saying, hey, we need our reparations. And instead of just talking about it on Twitter, cats got up, got out, and got it in. And pulled up on city capitals and state capitals all across the country. Why? Because how else are we going to get it? And it's funny, too, because it seems to be like reparations is a bad name, a bad word. It's almost like when we get to talking about reparations for Black people, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It ain't gonna come out your pocket. It's a thing between us and the government, us and these corporations that sponsored slavery. It's not gonna. It ain't like Black people are saying, "Hey, you're gonna get a reparations cut stipend out of your personal paycheck." So why the hell do all these other people give a damn? There was a reparations meeting in L.A. and there were a lot of people coming up speaking about how, like, they saying that, if it's going to be reparations, it should be for just more than Black people, or we don't deserve it because it's an old thing that happened in the past. And I'll be like, come on. Like, ain't nobody, you got over here and ain't nobody saying nothing. You know what I mean? The taxes that came out of our paychecks to assist you when you got here, because make no mistake about it, when America brings people into the country, there's also an economic safety net that comes along with it. You see what's happening right now with these victims, not victims, I can't call them victims because, hell, Russia and Ukraine, they always, they've been fighting each other for the last 300-400 goddamn years. As a matter of fact, Ukraine is actually where Russia was founded as a country. History tidbit. So I can't call them victims because they always fighting each other. But anyway, the people who have come over here from Ukraine, they're getting Section 8 housing. They're getting free health care. They don't have to take no whoopty-whamps jabs, boom, bam, boom, 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 ba. They ain't got to do none of that. And they're getting economic opportunities. You know what I mean? You have right now, since Joe Biden's been in office, they say they estimate 4.5 million. They estimate a number around 4.5 million immigrants have entered the United States borders illegally since Biden has been in office. And we tax-paying citizens, we're going to have to float that bill. You see what's going on with Ron DeSantis and what's going on with the governor over in Texas. When people are coming through their borders illegally, they're shipping them off to California, to New York, to Minnesota, all across the country. Taxpayers pay for that. And when they arrive in these places, Chicago, that they're being accepted, taxpayers pay for the Section 8 housing. Taxpayers pay for the food stamps. Don't ever let them tell you that immigration doesn't come with a bill. And I'm not here to disparage immigrants. I'm not here to talk down on anybody. I'm just talking just real shit. You know what I mean? This costs money. And it's money that comes out of our taxes. And it's money that's been coming out of the taxes Black Americans have been paying since day one. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. Ever since taxation has been a thing, Black Americans have been paying it. We may not have been the people who were, when they were slaves, the taxing was with their bodies. And for the Black people who were free, they paid taxes. Let's not get it twisted. All Black people weren't enslaved. There are a lot of Black people who roamed free during the time of the 13 colonies and when the United States was founded. Those people paid taxes. And every wave of immigrants that have come through to the United States, whether it be the German influx of the 1800s, the Irish influx of the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Greek, the Dutch, the French, all of the different influxes of immigrants, Black Americans were here paying taxes with our money and with our bodies, with our access to wealth. We've been taxed the whole way. It was so bad in the late 1800s to where, and those of you are, I'm not telling you a lot of this, a lot of you guys already know this, so I don't want to act like I'm telling you something you don't already know. But for those who don't, whites-only unions were created so Irish and German and Italian immigrants could get jobs. Because after slavery was over with, the best skilled laborers were the former slaves. But when you're bringing in all of these new people, the Chinese, to the country, you have to give them some sort of economic foothold. The United States is very well aware, if you don't give an economic foothold to these people, they're going to go into revolt. So who does that economic foothold come at the expense of? It comes at the expense of Black Americans. And we've paid that cost. I'm paying you on my taxes, my parents, my grandparents, great-grandparents, and all the way back. We've been paying this tax. So with that being said, no one ever asked us how we felt about paying this tax. And the times we've stood up and spoke against this tax that we pay, we've been called xenophobic. We've been called, oh, you're racist. Oh, you just hate immigrants. Oh, you're sounding like a Republican. Oh, you sound like Trump. All that bullshit. Well, we said, okay, now it's just time to pay the bill. That's all. The bill has come due. We've been paying the bill our whole existence here in North America. So now that bill is due for restorative justice, for repair, for reparation, for the costs that we've incurred on this land without getting compensated for it. So I said that to be reasonable because there could be people out there from immigrant backgrounds who really may not understand where we're coming from. I know a lot of people out there that come from different backgrounds. You've probably been told by people that you know or people that you associate with that, oh, Black Americans are just being xenophobic, or Black Americans hate us and you're being divisive, and anybody telling you that is full of shit. Let's start off with that. Second, it's not about being divisive. It's that this country owes. And if you moved to this country in the last 200 years, this ain't got shit to do with you. That includes people of European descent that came through Ellis Island. Give us your weak, give us your poor, give us your meek. Statue of Liberty. Cool, y'all came. Y'all got an economic, like when y'all got here, y'all got roughed up for about 40, 50 years. This country hazed you for a little bit. Then when they were done hazing you, they gave you the police department in Boston, the fire department. They gave you the taxi cab air companies. They gave you the parking lots. Although the automated machines done took them parking lots away from your asses in the last 5-6 years, haven't they? Ain't got no parking lots no more. The machine got them hoes now. But yes, different groups have been smacked around, but when they were done getting smacked around, they got handed their economies. Here in LA, if you're looking like the body shops, that's mostly Armenian. They are Armenian brothers and sisters and Russians. They get the glass shops. Most of your tire shops are Latino. They get an economy that supports them. And here's the key. Because I know somebody out there be like, well, we just worked harder. No, here's the key. You get these economies without disruption from local police and local government. That is the difference. Everybody works hard. But when you're in the position we as Black Americans are in, every time we get some sort of an economic foothold, we face opposition from our own government we pay taxes to. That's the difference. We face opposition from our police departments. How can I say this, Dwan? How are you going to say that? Well, just go back and read how the reports when the LAPD was federally investigated by the federals, how they were over bullying black businesses. Look at what they did with Nipsey's business. The minute he got the Marathon store, they were in the Marathon store every 2 months raiding that motherfucker. Hopefully trying to run him up out of there. That's what they do with our businesses. We have to deal with injunction laws. There's a lady right now in South Central who has an apartment, and that apartment building has been in her family since the 60s. She's facing gang nuisance laws and the threat of her property being taken right now in Los Angeles, California, in the middle of gentrification. They're saying because of gang activity. She got a notice for this gang activity a year ago. She evicted those people last December 2021. She evicted the people that the city was talking about. And in May 2022, she still got served with a nuisance order. So this is what we're dealing with right now. Same thing in San Francisco. There's a Black woman who's owned a lot of property up in San Francisco for a long time. She got a tenant, and basically they're making her sell her property to her white tenant because of a technicality. She has to give up her property. Go and look it up. It's tiresome, y'all. It's just tiresome. Every time you look up, it was a Black church burned on McKinley and 48th in South Central LA last week. I mean, man, I got people that went back. My family didn't go to that church, but I got friends whose family been going to that church for almost 100 years. And this is what we dealing with. So we got to deal with this harassment from our city governments now. We have to deal with the war on drugs, which Nixon called the war on Black people. That's still going on now. America's always been a crackhead, drughead ass, weird ass nation when it comes to drugs. Oh, this has been a haven for drug addicts. Hell, they used to say George Washington used to have a little cocaine spoon on his necklace. This is a drug addict ass place. But Black people are the only one that go to prison for long terms for drugs. We need reparations. And so the people are out there. This isn't a, and to be clear to those of you listening, this isn't a reparations claim for people calling us the N-word. This ain't a reparations claim for people not liking us. I don't give a fuck if you like us or not. It's a debt owed because wealth has been stolen based on the color of the skin. Light skin, dark skin, middle brown skin like mine, it don't matter. If you're considered black, if you're considered Melungeon, mulatto, Creole, Indian, I'm talking about the real Indians, not the ones on not the $5 Indians who got on the roads later on. I'm talking about the real Indians, the black ones. You got separated from your wealth. I look at it, and I bring this story up all the time. My great-great-great-great-grandfather, he was enslaved in Natchez, Mississippi. He was freed by his father / slave master upon his father / slave master's death. It was in his father / slave master master's will. He was to be freed in 1855 and given a portion of the property in Natchez, Mississippi. Mind you, 1855 is Natchez, Mississippi. It ain't that dump that it is now. That was like the 4th or 5th richest city in America, and like the richest city down south. The cotton trade had to get through Natchez. Natchez, Mississippi was the equivalent, as far as wealth goes, proportionally. It was where Seattle is right now. You know, Seattle ain't quite as wealthy as New York and LA, but Seattle ain't, because it ain't got as many people, but Seattle up there when it comes to the amount of wealth being distributed. That's where Natchez was at the time in 1855. Do you know how much money my damn family would have had if we were allowed to keep that property? You think I'd be goddamn having had a day job? Or having to run 5 different businesses right now to make a little bit of motherfucking money? If we got to keep that land in Natchez, shit. Man, I'd be chewing on cherries and traveling the world. All that money coming in that we done had passed down generation to generation. No, it didn't happen. Why? Because the governor stepped in and said, hey, these kids are mulatto. That's too close to Negro. Upon further review, you cannot get your freedom. We're not going to grant you your freedom. Take your ass back to that slave plantation, and you definitely can't keep this goddamn property. So when the Civil War was fought, my family fought in the Civil War, got their freedom, and then moved to the north, to Michigan. When my other side of my family had to leave Virginia in 1832 because they was black, they was free blacks. And they said, because of this Nat Turner revolt, 1831, basically all the black people that live around here, y'all either gonna have to get the fuck up on out of here, or y'all gonna be enslaved like the rest of these niggas. So my family had to, and it's a book called Southern Sea, Northern Soil. You can look it up. My family's documented in a history book. Southern Sea, Northern Soil. And they moved to Indiana. But when they moved to Indiana, they didn't get no Homestead Act land. They didn't get the free land that the white people got. They had to pay for everything. And they paid for it because they had the bread. But we need reparations. We had to pay for some shit that y'all was giving out for free because of the color of our skin. I said all that to set the foundation as to why black people need reparations. And this is a debt because we were disenfranchised from wealth based off the colors of our skin. And I don't give a fuck who likes us. It ain't for you calling me the N-word. I don't give a damn about no N-word. I care about the money. So California Reparations Task Force is talking about $350,000 for every black person in LA. So for all you niggas that moved to Vegas, y'all about to be mad. All you LA niggas that done moved to Texas and y'all going to Georgia, well, The dudes moving from LA to Georgia, y'all might have other reasons for moving to Georgia. No judgment. No judgment. The brothers moving to Atlanta, no judgment. Hey, do what you do. I ain't tripping. But to all y'all niggas that done flooded Houston and Dallas, making they freeways crowded, ha! What's up, Lady B in the chat room? Yeah, she was there organizing a pull-up. All you niggas that done moved to Vegas, y'all got that cheap rent, and watch, y'all water bill's about to be more expensive than y'all rent. Lake Mead receding faster than Hulk Hogan's hairline. You dig? So, LA, black people in LA, you know, that's what they talking about. You know, they're making the reparations lineage based, and the people across the country stood up and stood out. And one thing I love about it is this. It shows that we standing up for ours. You dig what I'm saying? It shows that when we fight, we win. We oftentimes think that, you know, we coming up short. We oftentimes think that there is, you know, we oftentimes think that, you know, other people are outdoing us, and really that's not what it is. We just can sometimes tend to not fight. And when we don't fight, the world passes us by. But when we fight, we win. And we win every time too. We have like Black America has a record, you know, like, how can I say this? Like we got a record like Outkast. Outkast ain't got that many albums. You know, Outkast didn't put out music every year for 2 straight decades. No. Outkast give you some fire that changed the whole world. Outkast told us and showed us the South has something to say, and they said something. And they changed the world with something playalistic. Then Outkast go back to chilling, you know. Somebody else get a hit. All right, cool. UGK got a hit. All right, cool. Ghetto, you know, Ghetto Boys got a hit. All right, cool. The Outkast drop another one. Boom! ATLians. Change the game again. When they put out albums, they win. Then they go back to chilling. Like, you know what? All right, Jay-Z got an album. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. Biggie's album. Okay, that's cool. All right, cool. Boom! Aquemini. Yo, these niggas done changed the game again. Every time they drop something, game change. And it's not the same as the last one, but it's just as good as the last one. Then Outkast go back to chilling, watching everybody else. All right, cool. Dog Pound, y'all did y'all thing. All right, cool. Yeah, all right. Oh, Nas came out now. Oh, that's cool, yeah. Nelly? Oh, Nelly's out? Who's this Nelly guy? All right. Then, boom, bombs over Baghdad. Doom. That's what we do. The only time black people ain't winning is when we just chilling and letting other people get hit records. Y'all can go ahead and get hit records. Yeah, y'all got y'all hit records. We didn't drop one. That's why you number one. You only number one because we didn't drop an album. All right. But every time we drop an album, we go number one. I hope that you're the one. If not, you are the prototype. Ooh, that was my shit. Ooh, that was my song right there. We'll tiptoe to the sun and do things I know you like. That was my shit. But that's what we do, man. We like Outkast. Only time we not relevant is when we don't say nothing. Think about that, man. So we saying something, and things are seeming to move around the country. And again, that's only because we saying something. We always win when we say something. And I was trying to wait until my assistant on a keyboard got back, but I'm gonna go ahead and go into this story anyway. Where did it go? LA Times. Speaking of reparations, it's there's a probe going on right now because attorney Mark Garagos, he may sound familiar because he was Michael Jackson's attorney. He was the attorney for a lot of different Hollywood celebrities. And attorney Brian Kaptek are under investigation because the Times investigation is showing that allegedly, these two may be misappropriating funds from the Armenian genocide settlement. So basically what it looks like right here, for those of you who don't know, they filed a lawsuit for some companies that participated and profited off the Armenian genocide. And they won a settlement. Another thing that we got to look into, black people, because remember, in California, we only talk about state reparations. Wherever we live nationwide, we need to be getting state reparations, national reparations, local municipal reparations, and corporate reparations, along with education and medical reparations too, but we'll get there. And land reparations, that'll come too. But also, we have a very strong claim when it comes to corporate reparations, because companies like Chase Bank, who at one point consumed Wachovia, who consumed Fleet Bank. Fleet Bank was consumed banks that participated in the slave trade. We have all kinds of things that we have. AIG Insurance, who got their start insuring slaves. You have the stock market, which was founded off slavery. You know, the stock were the slaves. If, you know, they would sell individual healthy slaves one by one, but then they would also have stocks of either the mangled, the old, the weak, the people who couldn't get out into the fields. They would sell them as stock, and they would be locked up on Chambers Street and marched down Wall Street to the stock exchange, where they would then be sold to enslavers in the North and the South. Because remember, the North had just as big, sometimes bigger plantations than the South. The North only stopped slavery because of weather and climate. Snows too goddamn much. You can't feed 10 hungry ass niggas through the winter and they out working. So slavery got to be too expensive for the North. The South, where it don't freeze, you know, you can work them niggas 12 months a year. The North, you can only work them 7 to 8 months a year. Then you got to feed them big hungry niggas after that. So it got to be too goddamn expensive. That's why they ended it up north. Well, anyway, Rikers Island was created as a slave selling port. I'm sorry, slave catching. Go and look it up. When Rikers Island got its start, what they would do is free black people who are walking around, watch the movie 12 Years a Slave if you want an inaccurate but somewhat historical representation of what was going on. The movie 12 Years a Slave was about a man who was a violinist who was basically doing his own things and kidnapped and captured off and was spent 12 years in slavery until he got his freedom. Well, that happened a lot to black people during that time, except for they never got their freedom. There were these slave catchers. People think the slave catchers were just people who went around catching runaway slaves. No. They were also people who, when black people were roaming free throughout town, who were free black people, they may have owned a shop and they may have been, they may have had an industry like moonshine or was sold moonshine, whatever. They walking down the street, la da 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 da. Well, what you had that was very popular in the early 1800s was big mobs of white men that would go around and capture free black people, take them on down to Rikers Island, and sell them off as slaves. So Rikers Island, the prison, has reparations due. It's so many levels of reparations that are due to us. But the fact that, going back to what I'm talking about, the Armenian genocide, these are people who have sued and won based off of corporations and companies benefiting from the Armenian genocide, a crime that didn't even happen here in the United States of America. Well, they won their case. But since they won their case, it seems like ain't nobody getting no money. So far, according to the LA Times, there was let me see, no, it wasn't that one. It was just some, here it is. 8%, there's a $17.5 million settlement with the Paris-based insurer that participated in the Armenian genocide. But to this point, less than 8% of claims submitted by Armenians around the world were approved. Even is saying, according to the LA Times, where despite in what many cases was overwhelming evidence that the applicants were rightful heirs. So what we see here is the descendants of victims of a genocide were awarded a settlement in United States court that a Paris-based firm that participated in a genocide that was on a whole nother continent was held legally liable and had to pay those victims. So what do you think we have, black people? If they get that, you don't think that we have a shot if we chose to go after these companies that benefited from the slave trade? It's not that we don't have a shot. Johnny Cochran was about to make that move and his ass ended up dead. That's the problem. But with that being said, the lawyer and the representatives from that case, these dudes ain't been allegedly passing out the money. Did these attorneys do this to victims of crimes from their own community? Do you mean to tell me, for a lot of you niggas out there that be like, we are our own worst enemy, we the only ones that do this to each other? It looks to me as if criminal behavior has no color line. A thug is a thug is a thug. And these people introduced this lawsuit to basically wompty-whamming things for themselves. But I'll tell you something. You ain't gonna see these people saying, man, I ain't gonna never work with another Armenian again. Don't trust another white man. Don't trust another Asian man. You should never trust. You're not gonna hear that be talked about. Because most people understand that, look, bullshit ass people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. You don't stop dealing with your brother, man, because a few of the cats are thugs, criminals. You can't even find anything like this remotely close in Black America to where we have lawyers that have done something on, and I ain't talking about for one or two victims of a police shooting. I'm talking about to where we have lawyers that have done something that brought restorative justice on a mass level and they stole the money from the people, allegedly. We ain't even done nothing that bad. But let one black person steal a candy bar from another nigga. What you niggas gonna be like? Man, we are one worst enemy. We should look at what we do to each other. Every time we get rich, every time we get some money, we do this to each other. Tired of you kind of niggas. I really am. They be like, well, you don't see the white man. We need to take care of these black. Yeah, we need to take care of niggas like you. Like, y'all are irrelevant. There's nothing you can say to Sarah, these motherfuckers, these niggas.
Yeah, but these niggas need to call in too because the phone line's open.
Oh, the phone line's open now?
They open.
What's the phone line? What's the phone number?
The number to dial is 818. No, Lord, what is it? It is
818?
818-925-0273. Again, the number is 818-925-0273.
818-925-0273.
Yes.
So we see here what's going on. Black Americans aren't waiting for lawyers to get our reparations from these states. One thing I love about these nationwide pull-ups that have been happening all around the country, the thing that I love about it is no one's waiting on anybody. These were regular, everyday people that organized and sent out emails. They sent out inboxes on Twitter. You know? They told their friends. I got a call? Go ahead and answer it.
Call from
JD
JD on the phone.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
JD from Fort Worth, Texas, man. Just keep on supporting y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all got the best shit going, man. And y'all cranking it up a bitch for 2022.
Come on, sir. Texas. Yeah.
We appreciate you, JD. I remember seeing you down there in Austin, man. We appreciate you, brother.
You coming out here next month, ain't you? To Dallas or something?
I wanted to throw a show in LA first before I throw one in Dallas. So I'm thinking I might throw my LA show next month and then wait till after the rainy season down there in Dallas to throw a show, like maybe in the spring.
You know I'm gonna be watching y'all, man.
Yeah.
And you know Larry saying what's up too. So I'm gonna make sure I see y'all, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Y'all energy together. Y'all be having me rolling like a motherfucker and learning.
Oh, I want to meet Larry so bad.
Next time, I'm gonna stick Larry's beard in the paper shredder. So watch, y'all gonna see that.
Blessings, man. We tuned in. I'm gonna let you keep it rolling, buddy.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, thanks for giving me a call.
Always.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, the number is 818-925-0273. Thank you, Deep Impressions, in the chat room for writing that.
Yeah.
818-925-0273.
73.
Oh, that's how they say it in Fort Worth.
Seven.
I remember all the time my family, when they would come in from Dallas, me and my sister always be laughing at them. We'd be like, Sim.
We got another call.
We got another
call
caller.
from.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Going on, calling from Fort Worth.
Another Fort Worth caller.
Come on, Texas. Y'all represent.
I got two Fort Worth callers. One of you two cats got to have a Jerry curl. It's two people from Fort Worth. One of y'all got a Jerry curl.
And the other one got a shag.
Yeah, the other one you got that shag. Yeah.
Nah, hey, bro, I got the same haircut you got. Man.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The perfect haircut. What's going on, brother?
How are you? Bro, man, we met y'all. My wife and I met you in Austin.
Yay!
Y'all came out to the show, man.
I remember you, yeah.
We sent you a box, Craig, and them a box. We've been hitting up.
Oh, y'all did?
Yeah. We sent a box up to the show, and so they opened everything up.
Okay.
And enjoyed the goodies. But I've been trying to holler at Todd. We're trying to get down there to do a private diner for y'all.
Oh, that'd be dope.
My wife, she a celebrity chef for the Mans, and it's a couple other celebrities.
Okay.
And so. Yeah, we're trying to hook up some, man, to get down there.
Hey, man, make sure you email me, and I'll make sure I pass it on. Email Craig to me, and if he don't get it, I'll pass it along to him. info@DwannB.com.
Okay, got you, brother, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. We love it here. We love it, bro.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Represent Texas.
Yeah, the number is 818-925-0273. Deep Impressions, thank you for popping that in the chat room for everybody that want to call in. Get the Caffeine app, download the Caffeine app, please. Well, we talking about reparations and how Black Americans this past, because you're not going to hear this on ABC News. Now, if black people, at the reparations rallies, if cats was twerking and doing all kind of weird shit and fighting, you would have heard all kind of news about what was going on. But since we was peaceful, you ain't hear shit. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is McKinley. I'm calling from Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yes. And I'm 10 years old. And I got my own music out. It's on Spotify. Y'all can.
You said you 10?
Yes, sir.
You got your own music at 10?
Yes, sir. It came out while I was 9.
Yo! So you over there doing it, being productive. You got some dope parents that's allowing you to be productive at such a young age. What's the name of your music?
It's Reflection by McKinley, out on all platforms.
It's called Deflection?
Reflection by McKinley.
Reflection by McKinley. That's dope. And salute to your parents for allowing you, because there's so many parents out there who have children that want to do things and they say, you too young to do it. So the fact that your parents let you do it, that shows that you have some dope parents. Much love to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And where can they find it?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes.
And say the name of it one more time.
Reflection by McKinley. Reflection by McKinley.
Reflection by McKinley. Thank you for giving me a call, McKinley. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right, McKinley.
See, I like that, Sarah. I like when parents encourage their children to chase their dreams now. You don't have to wait till you're 18. As a matter of fact, I know someone who, she used to have her son all while he was 9, 10, 11, building mods and all kind of tech stuff. You can go in there. Building. So when he turned 18, when he graduated high school, he got a job paying $85 an hour.
What?
Because he had been doing all that tech stuff since he was 11 and 12. So the minute he graduated high school, he came in at $85 an hour because he had a mom that really pushed him. So parents, the money is available right now. You better pay attention to your kids' skill sets, and if you need help finding your kids' skill sets, give me a call. Email me info@hotepish.com, info@DwannBrown.com. Go to breakthroughes.org. I can give you a reading and find out exactly what your kids' skills are, so you can start with them now. Ooh, What's up, caller?
I'm just so nervous. I really want you to do one for me. I'm just being honest.
I'll do one for you, Sarah.
Okay.
I do them live on my show all the time. I had somebody that called in yesterday, and they had never done a reading before, and I read him and his girlfriend, and he was like, how did you know we'd be arguing about that? I knew exactly what their arguments was over, and I knew exactly how to get past their arguments, because the cards tell you everything.
Oh.
Yes.
That's scary.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm Jerry W. from Memphis, Tennessee.
Jerry W. from Memphis, Tennessee, home of the blues. Well, one of the homes of the blues.
Oh, down home?
One of the homes of the blues.
Mm-hmm. Yes. First and foremost, love you guys. Love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Really simple question I'm thinking about, of course, reparations and all that. Mm-hmm. Once we receive this reparations, whatever you call it, as Black America, what do we do with it? Because I guess as a Black person, you're taught to get as much money as possible, move to the neighborhood with the white people, and hopefully make it, so to speak. But as a Black person, what do we do once we get these resources and everything? How do we do that moving forward? And I'll hang up with that.
All right. My recommendation is this. Take financial literacy courses. Financial literacy knows no color. Financial literacy is financial literacy. So make sure you make moves when you get, because what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to get money who never had big, large sums of money, and they will spend it. And, they always say, believe we shouldn't get reparations because they're going to be people who blow through it. Look, this is America, Jack. Everybody get big tons of money blow through it. You see that happen all the time with lottery winners, with people who get inheritances. People blow through money all the time. You can't stop the movement of a group of people because some are going to blow it. So for those of you who are on the fence, you're not the person that you may not be the best of money, but you're not going to make sure you take financial literacy courses first. Yeah. So you know how to shelter your money, so you know how to use it, where to get interest, and read up on it, educate yourself, learn about it. Because the excuse of not knowing in the days of the internet is over. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're going to become the next Warren Buffett with your investments, but you'll at least learn how not to screw your money off. You dig?
And shout out to McGregor Elementary that gave us Washington Mutual, which was the big hit.
Yeah.
The big hit, whatever, in elementary school. They taught us how to manage a checking account.
Yeah.
And a savings account when we were kids.
Yeah, manage it, and then, learn about, tax sheltering, difference between a regular IRA and a Roth IRA. And, your 401ks and, your crypto, all of that stuff, are valuable places to put your money. And then on top of that, for the rest of us who got things cracking, this is why they really don't want to give us reparations. Because for every 10 Black people who are going to blow through it, we're going to create a Death Row Records. For every 5 black people who screw their money off within a year, we're going to create a Motown. We're going to do something, and we're not going to need their help to do it.
Come on.
And that's what the issue is, because for every 10 people that blow off the money, that one black death row that we create can hire those 10 black people back. Because, the rest of the world don't want to hire us. We got to hire ourselves. So there are more than enough savvy black business people out there who, when those other people do blow their reparations, come on over here. We're going to have a job for you starting off at $85,000 a year. Because traditionally in black America, we show that when we have just a little bit of capital, we do grand, great things with it. And that is the reason why America's been keeping us away from our reparations.
We made chillings a delicacy.
Yeah, dig. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up? This T from Detroit.
T from Detroit. What's on your mind?
T-Town.
I got a statement and a question. The statement is, I don't like when people say that, we don't need reparations, or we held to such a high standard, everybody gonna spend up their money. I know niggas who work at the goddamn Dollar Tree who not responsible with their money.
Come on,
man.
No
come on.
person.
Preach.
The amount of money you make, that's on you to understand what to do with your money. So that's like saying because you don't know what to do with your money, you shouldn't get your check every week. That's silly. But I do understand that, yes, everybody should be financially literate in a perfect world, but that's just not what it is.
I mean, you have to eliminate the chicken Georges, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. To hell with them. If they want to spend their money up, that's on them.
Let them go. They're going to do it anyway.
People, that's everybody. But now I got a question.
Yeah.
Is it true that Sarah has world feeders?
What's that?
What?
That Sarah has world feeders.
What's world
What
feeders?
is world feeders? What is that?
Zoe said Sarah got world feeders.
What is world feeders? I'm Sarah and I don't know what that is.
Hey, that's what Zoe said on the show.
You talking about breast? Thanks a lot, whatever.
Hang up on his ass. Thanks for giving us a call, bro. Thanks for giving us a call. But now he's right, though, in the fact that, I ain't going to slow the train down because it's going to be some people that don't know how to spend their money. And you're right. It's going to be people that screw their money off. It happens every day. Think about it. White folks through the 1800s, 1900s got free Homestead Act land.
Bro.
160 acres if you single. And for every kid you had, you got like an additional 80 acres.
Yeah.
And then you have another kid, you get all that free land.
In suburbia.
Yeah, and all that free land, all that free access to capital. Do you know the reason why they call the Oklahoma football team the Sooners? Is because when the territory of Oklahoma opened up, there was a date everyone was supposed to wait to go into Oklahoma to claim that free land. People didn't wait. They started going in from Texas and from Kansas sooner than the time. So, and the government didn't do nothing about it. So they went sooner than the start date, and that's how you got the name the Oklahoma Sooners, because so many people crossed the lines of the Oklahoma territory and claimed land before the date they were supposed to claim land, and that crime ended up becoming something that everyone laughed at and said, hey, we're just naming a college football team after that. So do they still have that land? All these meth head motherfuckers walking around here, do they still have access to all that free shit that they got? Something, maybe not them, but a mama, a grandmama, a granddaddy or something done screwed that land off. It happens.
What? See, you know what? An amazing thing to me is that a lot of black people say, oh, don't give the niggas the money because they're going to blow it off. You got some people that's going to blow it off, but they never say, oh, we got so many white serial killers that we going to stop giving guns out. They ain't going to never say that.
They ain't going to never say that.
We talk about our own. They don't. They defend theirs.
They defend theirs, and we talk, and we allow our lowest common denominator to define us.
Come on.
That's the biggest issue that and this is us talk. This is family talk. We will allow the lowest common denominator to define us, and then the minute a white person or a non-black person comes along and define us by our lowest common denominator, we be like, man, why they say that about us? We used to be kings. Like, nigga.
They make our least our greatest, and we let them slide with that shit.
Because we make our least our greatest. Like we run around thinking that, like how many men run around thinking that being a basketball player, a football player, or a rapper is the best thing that you can do?
Come on, and now you have to add YouTuber.
Yeah, YouTuber.
Yeah, now it's, you can be up there with all the celebrities and everything.
We think jumping in the airs and clicking our heels and entertaining people Dorothy. Is the best that we can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's an issue that we're going through in this country.
But we have a problem with minstrel shows.
Yeah, and we put on minstrel shows every fucking day. These are issues that we can solve in house.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like me, I like focusing on things that we can solve in house that we don't have to demand from somebody else. Certain things that we can fix because you treat people how to treat you, and when you treat yourself a certain way, other people feel welcome to do the same. And I get it. It's born out of 400 years of what we've gone through. I'm not mad at us because when you go through 400 years of inventing shit, creating shit, getting it stolen, families getting ripped apart, you being told you less in, then this new thing over the last 100 years called the TV that every time you turn it on, the men are getting their ass whooped by Dennis Rodman looking women and the Woman King. And then you're dealing with, every time you look up the dudes, you watching P-Valley, all the dudes, in order to get attention, the young boys think that you got to wear a dress and shit. And
Thank you.
No disrespect to the dress wearing motherfuckers, but whatever. What about
no disrespect? Okay.
Yeah, no, they ain't disrespecting them. But what about the black kid that can't rap and can't play basketball? How is he supposed to feel?
He's supposed to be the security at the Pink. He diamond. He diamond.
What's up,
Knocking down bow leg.
What's up, Carter? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Dwan B, brother Dwan B? This is Darius. I'm also from Texas. I'm from Arlington, Texas.
Come on, DJ.
That's like in between Dallas and Fort Worth, ain't it?
Yeah. So it's in the DFW. It's like, man, you hop on the freeway, you can go to either or.
In Arlington, like you can smell all the must coming out of Cowboy Stadium, can't you?
Man, look, man, being a Cowboys fan it's a gift and a curse, man. It's more of a curse than anything, though.
It's kind of like being a Raiders. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, brother?
I'm out here, right now I'm in Washington State, travel nurse and everything, trying to get my bread up. You know what I mean? But,
hey, man, that's good. That's a good paying field right now.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. But yeah, man, on the subject that you were talking about, man, look, when we get our reparations, you know what I'm saying? One thing we got to know is, man, we don't really question, when the Ukrainians get their money, they're going to blow that too. You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
When the Hispanics, when they get their set aside, they blow that too, man. They blow it on whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be irresponsible people with money any community you go to. The important thing is that the ones who do the responsible move, they we recognize them, and we get empowered through those brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
But I'm gonna land my plane on that, man. I appreciate you, man. I love everything you're doing, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you too, bro. Thanks for giving me a call.
Damon, it's crazy. It's like it's funny how, especially like Republicans are kind of like very hypocritical because you have a lot of them talking about, we don't do handouts.
Yeah.
And like talking about welfare reform and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I worked at the Ralphs off of Vermont and Adams by USC.
Oh, I know that one over there, across from that 76 gas station.
Yeah. Oh, that's my boy Marvin worked there. Shout out to Marvin. Anyway, he had the best weed. Anyway, but when I tell you the first of the month when it come, they may be buying organic stuff on it, but all them EBTs roll through there, baby. And all the roommates, all them, their parents are wealthy people, because when they come in, before they leave, their parents buy them all this shit.
Yeah.
And then in the coming months, you see them coming in, and they got their EBT card, but they finna frown at the black woman in front with her 4 kids, and with her EBT card when you got money, but you're using the system. It's so hypocritical. Yet we don't call them out on that, but they not only do it, but we got our own to be doing it to us.
Let me just break it all the way down. Turn the phones off, Sarah. I want to finish this stream of thought without distraction. Can I say it?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
The American capitalistic white supremacist system as currently set up is welfare.
Say that one more time.
The white supremacist capitalist system that we currently have set up is welfare. That's why Brett Favre can have 3 different welfare schemes going on at the same time with the same state and not get indicted for any criminal activity.
None of it.
Even though he has text messages saying, hey, how can I get the money without getting in trouble? Even though he has proven to be, when it comes to those speeches, taken from, he's already basically guilty because he got $1 million, didn't do the speeches.
Yeah.
You know,
Didn't do the speeches, but your children is playing volleyball.
But a year ago, when there was a bunch of NBA players who overestimated their injuries and got a little more insurance money, they all up in court facing criminal charges.
Yeah.
Retired NBA players for insurance fraud because they did what most Americans do, and your neck hurt, but you say my neck and my knee hurt.
My neck and my back.
So this is what's going on right now. Talk about welfare. Talk about the Kentucky being the biggest welfare state in the union.
The Appalachian people, or they got bank up there in EBT.
And they
wear out them grocery stores.
I mean, when I say the current white supremacist capitalist system is welfare, it's because when it comes time for your city contracts, companies get big when they get vending opportunities with cities and contracts with cities. Become a vendor or a contractor with a city or with a local government or with the state or federal government. Traditionally in America, according to America's own statistics, black companies are continually left out of the process when it comes to being contractors and vendors.
Especially in New York and Chicago.
And especially all four corners of this country.
Yeah.
But you're right up there too, because it's a lot of black people in Chicago. See, in some places that you can, San Francisco ain't got that many black people. You can say, okay, well, it's a numbers thing. But Chicago is nigga central.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Chicago nigga central. So they know, that's nigga on top of nigga. You know what I mean? But so think about, when you think about it big long term, when you think about a big picture, I was looking at, there's an issue with a plumbing pipe near my house. And it was a city issue. And the city had contractors come in and fix that pipe. And they were working they were working overnight. So you know the amount of money these people were getting to work a 24-hour shift. And as I look around my city, I was looking at that, but when I look around my city, LA, there are no black plumbing companies that have these city contracts.
Not at all.
There are no black electrician companies that are electricians that get contracted to build these state and maintain these state and federal buildings. Black companies don't get the contracts to build football stadiums and downtown high rises. So when I say this system is this is welfare, meaning if you have the right complexion, you are automatically pushed to the front of the line, and you have no barrier to stopping you from getting these type contracts. Now you still face free market competition. You still have to compete with other people with your skin tone, and you may not get the contract because you were beat out because the other company either had a better connection with the city than you or they outbid you. That's fair. But to not even be in the bidding process because of the color of your skin, or to get in the bidding process because of the color of your skin, that's welfare. That's saying, okay, I can immigrate to a country from Europe that I didn't help build. Because only people that can lay claim to helping build the United States are the British, and black Americans and the British. Yeah. But the biggest ethnic group in America is German. That's the largest ethnic group is German. Really? Yeah. And most of your Germans.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they're the people who filled out the Midwest. But the country was already built. There was already a United States when they got here.
Well, when Christopher Columbus got here, it was already
people here.
Discovered.
it was already discovered, but I mean, just speaking in the context of either the 13 colonies or the United States.
Got you.
When this was the colonial period, the people who built the country, the infrastructure of the nation, were black.
Absolutely.
Benjamin Banneker designed Washington, D.C. He designed Philadelphia. He aligned it with the constellation Virgo.
Because
he did that. You know what I mean?
Fellow Virgo.
Yeah, he created the Farmer's Almanac because this country was starving.
Which revolutionized the agriculture industry in the United States.
It's the current Farmer's Almanac used now was created by a black man 200 some odd years ago. So what I'm saying is we were the nuts and bolts to building the country. Everyone else came after the foundation was laid. Now they may have added to it, and thank you for your additions. I ain't tripping. I'm not xenophobic. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck about none of you niggas, honestly. My name is Chuck, and I can't find two fucks. But what I do care about is
oh my God,
knowing my family built this motherfucker, knowing my great-great-granddaddy invented the automatic railroad crossing,
Come on.
And he had to sell it because his great granddad was supposed to be free and given land in Mississippi, but he didn't get that free land. So his great granddad, he didn't get that generational wealth passed down. Had my great granddaddy got that generational wealth passed down, which was given to him in his will by his father.
Wow.
Had that money getting passed down, he would not have needed to sell that patent. He could have had the money to develop that patent on his own, and my family would be in control of every motherfucking railroad crossing system in this nation. And we'd have that generational wealth passed down.
That's
but
like
because of the color of our motherfucking skin, that wealth didn't get passed down. He had to sell his patent and move us to LA so he could come out here and work. How'd that happen? So what I'm saying is this. It's a dead old. And people got to understand it and see it from that point of view.
Yeah.
Because if my family is able to create that kind of an infrastructure, that kind of an industry, black people aren't complaining about unemployment. Why? Because there are black people who own a company that can. And it's not just my family; it's the family of the black people who invented the gas mask. Yeah. It's the family of the black people who invented the elevator. It's the family of the black people who invented rubber. The current well, George Washington Carver didn't have a chance to have children because they castrated him.
Yep. Because
they didn't want him having sex with a white daughter. So George Washington Carver didn't have the opportunity to have a family.
He's pretty much a eunuch,
yeah. Yeah. So, but when you talk about all the inventions that we created, imagine if those black families were able to capitalize off the generational wealth that it builds.
The Rockwells will be the Jacksons.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, and we wouldn't be crying about these other companies not hiring us because we could take care of ourselves.
Yep.
That was systematically taken away from us. So since laws took that away from us, motherfucker, you owe.
Okay, there's a debt to be paid. Wow.
That's how you frame it. You know what I mean? And it's not personal. It's not emotional. And it's no hate. I don't hate any other group. I have no contempt for any other group. Matter of fact, when I see other groups get theirs, I'm like, shit, I'd rather see you get it than the government keep it. Because all they're going to do is build more bombs with the shit. You know what I mean?
But who was the first Indian or Pakistani came over here and got the first gas station? These motherfuckers, then they everywhere. I'm like, and then I like the fact that they don't change it from Exxon to Habibathon or to nothing like that, or Abdul's. They keep it the same thing. Walk up in the store, don't try to get some gas.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We in here.
When this country brings in, and that's what I was saying earlier when you weren't here.
I was getting something to eat.
No, it's
don't
cool,
eat, no
Sarah.
fat shaming.
No, you needed that. No, you needed a break. I'm glad you did that because I feel bad if you didn't have no break.
I
You dig what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
You need your break. So I wasn't tripping. I'm able to. Those people on caffeine, they rock with me, man. I'm good. I can monologue for hours. I'm a talking ass nigga.
I'm a talking ass nigga.
But like when the country immigrates new people into the country, they immigrate those people in with an economic base.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to bring in 100,000, 50,000, 1 million new people without a job, especially during a time of mass homelessness.
But Dwan, see, but the thing is, how did they know to go into oil? How did the Asians know to go get a nail salon?
Because the United States,
you know what I'm saying?
Because when they come over here, they allow different races to control different industries. And this has been going on since the 1800s.
Who were their career counselor? Because those are MVPs.
It's almost like a whole little network. Like they know. It's the same way when they imported slaves. They knew which slaves to get to grow the rice. They knew which slaves they can get to be the astronomers. They knew which slaves to get when the Dahmer was going around capturing slaves and selling them off.
And
they
cutting their head off.
Yeah, they knew which villages did what, and they knew who they were getting. Or they've always known who they're getting here in this country. That's not ever let them be mistaken. They know who they're getting. When these people are imported from other countries, they have whole schools in those countries. When they go through the whole immigration process, and I know this from, I got an Armenian homie. Same thing about LA. Being born and raised here, you got friends from every race.
Absolutely.
So just being casual, you get to hear these stories. One of my best friends is from India. You know what I mean? And the guy who's working my car was Armenian. And he told me the whole story. He was like, yeah, when you over there, they look for the mechanics over there. You know what I mean? The people who have certain skills, they like the mechanics. They like the people who work the body shops. And if you don't know it, they have training classes over there in those countries. So when you do
like
come over here,
Job Corps, something like that.
So when you come over here, you're coming over here already with a skill. And when my Armenian homie said, he said it kind of dried up over the last 10 years, but this was a real big thing back in the 90s. They weren't even checking. When you came over here, you got like 60 grand. Yeah.
60 grand just to show up?
Yeah, then you get consignment. Then you work under on one of your, in fact, if you're a sponsor of somebody, you can work under another Armenian at this shop. Mm-hmm. And then within like 9 months or a year, once you really learn the trade and how things work here, you now get the money to open up your own shop. And so we wonder why they get, and then he said this is what they used to do. They used to come and get the 60 grand, go back, and then come back under a different name and get another 60 grand.
Scammers.
And they would do this back and forth. This is a game that these people from these other countries be playing. Again, I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all gonna hustle. I'm just saying it's our goddamn turn. That's all.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about y'all hustling and taking. I don't give a fuck. But I do give a damn when you tell me I can't have mine. That's where the line's drawn.
Yeah, but y'all gonna check on them. Y'all not gonna check on them, but the PPP loan people when we're going through a pandemic. Yeah.
Black people got the least amount in PPP fraud loans. The biggest people of PPP fraud were non-black. There was this Armenian couple here in Tarzana that got away with $18 million. Left their motherfucking kids here and disappeared. They still don't know what they got convicted. Got on parole.
Oh, exile me out.
$18 million. They gone. They ain't never come back here. Left their kids here and everything.
Would you get caught if you had $18 million?
Hell, motherfucking nah.
Hell no.
I'll be on a yearly cruise every year. I'm in South America today, bitch. I'm in Tanzania today, bitch. I'm in India today, bitch.
Somebody said, I seen that they gone.
Yeah, so I'm not here to shit on no other group at all. I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to say it's our turn for us to get ours.
And it don't mean that they do it better than us. It's just the fact that ain't nobody checking on them.
Ain't nobody checking on them. They don't have the knock. They don't have people on their ass every little thing that they do. And, and the same thing when it comes to like your people going back to the gas stations. A lot of them are trained on that stuff in their home countries. Remember the Ethiopians used to control the parking before the parking meters?
Yep.
Everywhere you went, there was an Ethiopian.
And the valet,
Valet, It's the reason why these industries are color-coded. Because America sources where it's going to get its immigrants from. And they're going to get people who have attitudes that are kind to America, that are open with America, that are friendly to America.
Well, I also heard that they get a lot of Hispanic people, like Central and South America. They scope out the women that have a lot of children so they can prep them to be nannies.
Yeah.
For over here.
Yeah. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. And so, then what happened, and the reason why America's always important to immigrants is because the first class of immigrants, they'll work for whatever. They'll take whatever bullshit America throws their way. The second, the class that was born here in the United States, they now grow up Americanized. And they're not going to work for the wages their parents worked for.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not going to do what their parents did to get here.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to be like, you know what? Fuck out of here. And then America going to raise the wages. And then it's going to be a whole nother group that comes here that works for the wages these people's parents used to work for.
Absolutely.
And that's how it works. But with all that being said, we about to get up out of here, but I want y'all to know this. Reparations are due now. And salute to all those black people around the country in all 28 places. There are 28 cities around the country. Black people showed up to state capitals, city capitals, and places of business to demand reparations. And California is moving forward. The California Reparations Task Force, there is a new bill, and I don't have the bill's name on my head. God damn it. But lineage-based reparations were approved for Californians. It's just that there's another bill that's out there that they're trying to have Newsom sign to defeat it. But we're going to keep it going because the way people showed up, the way people showed out, it's going to work. We just got to keep pushing forward, keep doing what the hell we do. And like I always say, when we fight, we win. Black people, we outcasts. Outcasts, only time outcasts ain't number one is when they don't release an album. Anytime we release an album, we go number one.
Exactly.
And we got to remember that. Every time we fight, we win.
Put that stank on you.
Yeah. And with that being said, remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those who are willing to pick up the game, download the Caffeine app, follow the Comedy Press, follow all these dirty ass niggas that's on the Comedy Press.
Some of them are slightly dusty.
Now, all these niggas they talented at podcasting, but they smell like gerbil nuts.
Not gerbil nuts.
They all do.
Gerbil nuts.
But they all talented. So follow these niggas, all right? My name is Dwan B. I'm out.
Dwan B. Black History Commercial. Take
1, and in comes the 2 to the 3 and 4.
Hold up. Celebrate our warriors and scholars. Black history on a t-shirt. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Yeah. Mothers of the movement, our scholars. Instead of wearing a sports jersey with someone else's name on your back, celebrate our leader's name on your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Get yours now at hotepish.com/shop. Free shipping on all orders over $75. Also, get your Black American music family tree at incenseandashtrays.com/shop. 400 years of music created here in North America exclusively by Black Americans on one piece of artwork.